Quick garden update, just to show what I've got going on. It's about May 6th or so. Added a few more things this year. I've got a potato bucket over there. I just cut the bottom out and put a bunch of soil in there and filled it up slowly as the potato grew. Got a little bit of a late start, but it's looking healthy, and I've got some good soil in there, so I think I'll be alright. This is a patio princess. You see all these sticks. This is to keep the birds and squirrels out. They love getting in here. And Chester, my cat, he likes to get in there when the plants are small. But mainly the squirrels. Mint, kicking butt, taking names. Doesn't take any effort. Oregano, kicking butt, taking names. No effort. Let's see. This is a little experiment. This is Swiss chard, which I'm sure will do fine. Another little baby Swiss chard popping up. The squirrels keep screwing with me. Until I can get them big enough and get some mulch in there, they'll keep messing with it. But it takes a little time to get it right, but it'll be alright here soon. This right here is an experiment. This is the tree kale. I got into a hurry and ordered some because I've been wanting to do it. I missed last summer doing it because I was too busy building some beds, and this year I forgot about it at the last second, so I ordered some and they sent me 3. And after reading the directions, I found out that it's better off to get those propagated inside, get them growing healthy, big, and going. Then you can bring them out once it warms up. But I think as long as I keep them watered, they'll be all right because they've got a root. It's basically just a stem you stick in the ground, and it roots from the stem. So we'll see what happens. I've been keeping it really wet. Here's another one right here, and it's leafing. So I think it'll be all right. Swiss chard starting to go. That Swiss chard, I try to get an early start, but that plant likes the warmth. So I learned don't really even try to get an early start. Maybe about May. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, by the way. This is zone 7B, I think, 7A. We're kind of in a split. But that Swiss chard, I think I need to just wait until maybe April 20th or so to seed. Kale, kicking butt. I think these are transplants. I grew some inside and got them about 3 or 4 inches tall and brought them out, and then they just went absolutely nuts. But that looks like a good spacing. I don't get the most sun here, and they're still doing good, especially this red Russian. I mean, for the leaf mass, you can't beat that. I mean, look at that. The dinosaur kale, it's doing pretty good. It's kind of skinny. This is really, I like the difference. They're completely different tasting. This is more like a lettuce. I can put this on sandwiches. It's more succulent. And this is more just gnarly, which I like that too, a little more bitter. I threw some pak choi. This first year I tried pak choi, and I'm learning that see the yellow flowers, that it is a fall plant. It is not a good spring plant, because it just bolted right away. I mean, it gave me some leaves, which that might be good enough. If I had a extra bed, I might throw some down there because they're still good. Even the flowers are good. Speckled butter crunch or something like that. I just broadcast that, and it's doing great. But that's the small bed. I built that bed last year. This was my main bed, and I've just slowly been adding on. All these chips are new. This new strip of shell and peas is new. I forgot the name. We'll see if it does anything. I can't really tell. I've never grown them, so they look healthy. They're starting to flower, so I assume they'll be alright. I need to rig something up next year a little better. See, I just got bird net kind of draped over them to keep the rabbits out. I got tons of rabbits, tons of squirrels, tons of birds. Always fighting with me. But they look like they're doing good so far. I'll probably do like a ring of chicken wire around, give it a little more breathing area so it don't get hung up in the bird net. This was an extra tomato plant that's stuck in the ground. I think that's a yellow pear. Everything I got extra, I just stick in the ground. This is a, hell, that might be another yellow pear right there, or a hybrid 100. We'll see what happens there. There's not much sun over here. This was a failed attempt at planting a blueberry bush years ago, and it hasn't done anything. I just don't have the nerve to pull it up because it's been here so long. It's got some little teeny blueberries. I planted these blueberry plants last year, and they seem to be doing a lot better. They're a lot healthier. Two different kinds. This was Northern High Bush Blueberry, Jersey. I guess that's the kind. And less leaves, a lot of blueberries. I don't think I'm going to get any off these. We had a big rain and it knocked all the flowers off, which sucks, but a good handful got on here, got going before the rains came. And this is another kind. Oh lordy, what is this one? I don't know, but you can see it's got a good amount of blueberries in here. I think after another year or two I'm going to have a decent amount. I might even plant some more blueberry bushes right in here since they're doing so good. Just make a little blueberry patch. Butterfly bush. I don't know, I got random flowers around here that I've gotten from friends and family. Hell, I don't even know what these are. That's black-eyed Susan. That might be bee balm or something. And this is it's like a artificial sweetener, but you know, obviously artificial. It's a plant, Sylvia or something like that. Tastes like sugar. Yep. It's supposed to not come back, but it came back. I just cut it back and put mulch on it, and thinking it wouldn't come back, but it did. So this is my main bed. The trellises are new. You can see the old raised bed. I added this 10 by 10 last year, got some more soil, put some rabbit protection, and this year I've added these trellises. So that's my tomato trellis. I'm doing it like the big companies do. I'll show you the rings here in a second that they attach to. But see this trellis, I can take this trellis and I've got rebar. I just slide that up. So next year I'll do my peas over here, and I'll slide my tomato trellis over here, and just switch them back and forth. Tomatoes over there one year, whatever over here, peas. That way I'll be able to fertilize them back and forth with the peas and the beans, pole beans and the peas. And this is my pseudo-perennial bed, which will stay similar in the year round. I'll leave a couple holes in there to plant random stuff, but that's sorrel, some beets, which that's not perennial, but I want to keep a couple little holes in there to plant whatever. Got some random kale. I've got some kind of perennial arugula that oh geez, what's his name on YouTube recommended? 1 Yard Revolution. I learned a lot of stuff from him. I'm using a lot of his species that he's using, or varieties and practices, and it seems to be working really well. I stuck a little pepper plant in there. We'll see what happens. I like to just stick random stuff, random places, because you never know. They might grow well and might not. You know, only one way to find out. This is Red Russian kicking butt. This Red Russian just kicks ass. I mean, no effort. Look at that. Monster leaves, especially for my yard. I mean, I don't get that much sun. My sun, I get morning sun, it comes up over there, and then it hits behind these treetops, behind the treetops, so I get speckled. Little sun, then it gets behind the trees again. Speckled. Where you at, son? Shit, I don't know where it's at now. But, I don't get a lot of sun. Obviously I get enough for a garden, but at first I wished I had more. But the more I get into gardening, the more I realize this is a nice little setup to have because it's not good to have sun all the time. I'm starting to appreciate that. But here's my tomatoes. I got a German Johnson from a buddy. I got some chocolate stripes from, what's his name, M.I. Gardner on YouTube. I got a bunch of seeds from him. That's his sorrel. His blue curled kale's in there somewhere. I think this is amaranth. He's got a bunch of great tips too. M.I. Gardner, I think that's the name of him. Tomatoes I grew inside. That's why they're so big already. I mean, they're really healthy. This is the first year I've done heirlooms. But some are small, some just don't want to get past that top part. But I think it'll kick in here soon. These heirlooms I'm used to using the hybrids, which they're really easy to tell where your suckers are. The heirlooms aren't as easy. They're more deformed looking. You know, let's see if I can find an example. See, this is an obvious one. You got your sucker right there in the middle. That, boom. Get rid of that. So I keep one stalk. The idea is to keep one stalk, trellis it up. You can see these little clips. I'm gonna clip it up as I go. But these, you can see I accidentally took off the main stem here, but luckily it's starting to pop up again. I thought I was getting a sucker and I didn't, so I mean, you can see it's just not as easy to tell on these guys, you know. That's the fruit. That's a leaf. That's the main stem, I'm assuming. So there's a sucker there. It's just not quite as easy to tell. I'm hesitant to take that guy off, even though I know it's a sucker, just because I almost ruined this guy. So, like right here, that looks like a sucker in the middle, but I'm afraid to take it off because it might be the main stem. I don't know. I thought I knew all about tomatoes until I got heirlooms. They just look different. Got some red kale. I just broadcasted in there. Again, all the sticks and stuff I've got in there is mainly to keep the birds out. This bed's so full of worms just because the soil's so good that the birds just can't help it. They got to get in here and try as much as they can to get them. I'm always coming in here and adding sticks and filling holes and adding some more seeds down because they plucked it up. And here's some dinosaur kale, cilantro, doing good. Again, the pak choi, that's going to be a fall plant for me. Never done much fall garden. We'll see how that goes. I just don't get enough sun because that sun's behind these trees by the time the fall comes around. This is an experiment. I got that onion plant out of a buddy's yard, and he's got a really shitty yard, and I always figured I couldn't do onions back here because I didn't have enough sun. But I think I'll be able to do it. It'd take a lot of space too. But buddy had a shitty yard. I pulled that up and stuck it in. But I added a bunch of mulch, or I added a bunch of compost. So I put a little high. I think, you know, with the onions, you want to keep the bulbs above ground, and I didn't. So I'm gonna let it go to seed, save the seed, and try it again next year. But it's a really healthy plant, whatever it is. So I'll definitely be able to get something out of it. Sugar snaps. Oh yeah. I've got some, what was that called? Something spinach. It's a vine. It's I think it's from India. It's a warm weather, hardy plant that can take the heat and still give you greens. This is the take the heat and give me some leafy greens in the summer bed. So the idea is to give me some greens off of this guy once it gets really hot. What's that called? Spinach, something spinach. And that's all red amaranth. I'm going to cut that as leaves and harvest as I go. basil. I got a little too early start on that, and I always get into a hurry with basil. You see it got some black spots. When we start getting those moist, cool nights right before the summer comes or the spring comes, it hits that basil pretty hard. So I think I'm all right. It's warm now. This is my failed attempt at Egyptian spinach. I started those inside and I burned them on the fluorescent, so I just said, hell, I'll just stick them in the ground, see what happens. They might come back. I threw some seeds down. The ones I put out front are looking a lot better, but I think that the halogen light burned them and really set them back. But I threw some seeds out front to hopefully get those going. That's another leafy green in the summertime. Yeah, I mean, I'm always little fence here, some sticks there. I had a screen door out here earlier. Just all kinds of stuff to just confuse the birds and squirrels to keep them from getting in there. This right here is, I think I got some dill in here. That right there is sunchokes. I did sunchokes last year and they did good. I did them in pots. But there's a smaller red variety. And I went to my grocery store and I found some big white ones. So I stuck those in the ground. That's the ones I've seen online that they give you a big chunky sunchoke. So hopefully those will store better. This is like that's what happens. I don't think I get enough sun here for this, but it's starting to get a little healthier. That is caigua or something, C-A-U-G-I-A, South American cucumber cousin. Hey man, how you doing? Another good day? That's the way I like it. Here's that caigua again in my main bed. I think I got a little more sun over here. I planted some here. Hopefully that will start going up the trellis. That's about it. So that's May 6th, garden update. Here's my 2-year-old, what is that, mulberry, dwarf mulberry. Hopefully it does alright. I got a big mulberry out front that I planted. Here's my new chicken. Little North Star getting beat up by Big Red over here. And Big Red's bodyguard. But he's starting to hold his own. He's getting bigger now. And they're getting used to him, so they allow him out here in the secondary run. Oh yeah, there's these guys are, what is this called? Something fern. Ostrich fern. I was about to say oyster fern. No, ostrich fern. Those are edible. You can eat them like asparagus once they little fiddleheads. But they're supposed to really spread out, so hopefully this is the second year I've had them out here. So a year and a half, year and a quarter. And they spread a little bit, so I think next year they'll really spread out and just take over. And hopefully I'll start getting some fiddleheads out of that. See, nonstop birdville. That was my runner bean. I'm sure he's eating that for dinner. That's about it. So far, so good.